It's important to check for leaks, as lack of refrigerant will lead to insufficient lubrication of the compressor. The condenser will not have sufficient cooling performance with corroded fins, so it must be replaced. Check pressure sensor or switch. Check also the PWM signal at the plug to the compressor. No signal from the car. Investigate why the signal is missing. Installing a new compressor will not fix the problem. When the signal is present, the compressor should be working. Check for 12 volts at the clutch coil. If not present, the new compressor will not work either. Remember to close and protect the hoses if the new compressor is not fitted immediately. The humidity in the air is not good for the oil or AC system in general. If the suction port is dry, it is a sign of blockage in the system. Here, it is okay. Note that even if you flush and empty the system for oil, you might have to adjust oil amount in the new compressor to fit the vehicle. Make sure that the new compressor is equivalent to the old compressor. The OE manufacturer can be different, therefore the appearance can be different, but main measurements have to be the same. If the label is not readable, find oil and gas type from your data supplier. Flushing is needed in many cases. The condition of the oil in the old compressor will tell if flushing is needed. Here examples of oil and what to be aware of. Oil with UV dye is okay. New clean oil is okay. Green oil. Too much UV dye or leak stop will deteriorate the oil. Flushing is needed. Orange oil. Oil contains water. Flushing is needed. Grey oil. When the oil is contaminated with metal debris, this is a sign of poor lubrication to the compressor. So you need to check for leaks, clogs, or if too little gas was filled. Flushing is needed. Black oil. Too hot. The pressure's been too high. Check the condenser, fan, pressure switch and replace as needed and flush the system. If too much UV dye or leak stop has been added, it will deteriorate the lubrication of the compressor and flushing will be needed. The oil is okay on this AC system. We need this info for later adjustment of oil volume. The orifice expansion valve helps keeping the correct pressure in the system and helps to secure evaporation before the gas is circulated back to the compressor. If fluid is recirculated to the compressor, it will be damaged. Always fit new filter dryer. The volume of oil in the old filter must be added to the new filter. And always use new oil for the new filter. Use new O-rings also for the filter. The condenser is changed because the fins are corroded. Protect the AC system from impurities and air. Change O-rings. You need to compensate for the oil amount in the old condenser, but it is not possible to empty it, so here we use a calculation to find the right oil amount. When flushing is not needed, you must compensate for the oil left in the rest of the system. Normally, this is done by adjusting to the same oil amount as in the old compressor. In this case, the condenser was replaced as well, so we must compensate for this. In total, you have to leave 41 milliliters in the compressor, so 89 milliliters must be drained from it. To help drain oil from the new compressor, you need to turn the hub and change orientation. Check that the gas type mentioned on the label of the new compressor is the same as used in the vehicle. R1234YF gas will damage the oil dedicated only for R134A. Install the new compressor properly and according to recommendation by manufacturer of the vehicle. Use new O-rings also for the connections. Rotate the hub by hand several turns to distribute the oil. The belt must run straight to avoid noise and excessive wear. Often, the tensioner needs replacing as well. A torn belt may lead to damaged valves if picked up by the timing belt. Find exact filling amount of gas. It is important to evacuate all air from the system. Adding extra gas or too little gas can damage the compressor. When starting up, avoid revving up the car and set AC to minimum. This will allow the oil to return to the compressor. Observe pressure at idle. If too high, stop the engine and find the reason to avoid a breakdown of the compressor. For this car and temperature, the pressures are okay. Make sure you have the right cooling. Plug the holes of the old compressor and use the old box for return of the unit. Also use the plastic bag.